Good morning, ladies. It's Thursday. I have another tip for you. This is like one of my winter disciplining tips that I use with my kids. But to me, I don't feel like it's so negative because I know the winter months are so hard because we're all stuck inside. Everybody's kind of getting on each other's nerves, and let's face it, kids have bad days, mommies have bad days, and that's just life, and we have to work with that, and we have to get through that day as a family. And so I think I just made this up one day, but it's stuck and it's really worked, and this is what we use a lot. In fact, I just used it yesterday, but I have a reset button. As the mom in this house, I get to say I'm hitting the reset button. And what that means for us is whatever child is having a grumpy day, maybe it's just not a good day for them. They're either picking on their sibling all day, or they're just in a bad mood generally overall for that day. I hit the reset button. And what that means is, after I've said, okay, I'm hitting the reset button for you, that means that I walk them to their room and they're in there for 15 minutes. This is not done out in a timeout manner. It's done in a way so that they can have some time to themselves, because I find that a lot of the times their grumpiness comes from they're just done with everybody else and they just need a break. And so while they're in their room, they're at liberty to do whatever they want. If they want to draw, they can color, they can read a book, they can play with their cars, whatever it is, Shopkins, like talk to their stuffed animals, whatever it is they need to do. If they need to cry for 5 minutes and then find something to do in the room, then that is fine too. So we've done this enough to know that my kids know this is not a punishment. This is just like a break from what's going on for the day. After the 15 minutes is up, I do go in, I sit on their bed, have them sit up and look at me, because this is the part that I really want them to hear out of the whole 15 minutes, and that is, it's okay to have a bad day, it's okay to be grumpy, but when it spills over to hurting other people, or you're starting to you're pestering and you're trying to make other people mad, that's where it needs to stop. And that's where we need to come and find a way for us to change our attitude and change our heart. And so I tell them that it doesn't matter if you make bad choices all day long. Mommy and Daddy will always love you. That's never going to change. I hope that you make good choices the rest of the day, and I love you now. And then we hug it out, and typically that's all that it takes for them to have a 180. It's just that time alone, that reassurance that everything's okay, your feelings are normal, they're validated, and we can move on. I've never, so far in doing this, I've never had to call the reset button twice in one day, knock on wood. I have had to call the reset button on all of us before, where we all have to go to our separate ways for about 15 minutes, and then we come back together and we're good. So that's my tip. I know it's wintertime, and so sometimes I know as homeschool moms, we are with our kids all the time, a lot of the time, and we get on each other's nerves, and our kids get on each other's nerves, and sometimes that space is needed. So that's my winter tip, I guess disciplining tip, whatever you want to call it. It's something that I made up probably about a year ago, and we've been doing it, but I've been noticing that we're using it more during these winter months. So I thought I would share that with you. Hope you'll have a great and wonderful day.